From mountains shaped by time to monuments shaped by human hands, the world is filled with wonders beyond imagination. These are wonders of the world that will leave you speechless. Welcome to Lost Beyond the Map. Rising from the jungles of Cambodia, standing as the world's largest religious monument, this is Angkor Wat. Sprawling across more than 160 hectares within the ancient city of Angkor, Angkor Wat stands as the largest religious monument ever built. Constructed in the early 12th century, it began as a Hindu temple dedicated to Vishnu, before gradually transforming into a Buddhist sanctuary, a rare continuity of faith carved in stone. Today, it remains the defining symbol of Cambodia, immortalized on the nation's flag. Angkor Wat was commissioned by the Khmer king Suryavarman II as his state temple and eventual mausoleum. Designed to embody Mount Meru, the cosmic home of the gods, the complex rises in a series of elevated galleries crowned by 5 central towers. A vast moat more than 5 kilometers long surrounds the temple, reinforcing both its spiritual symbolism and architectural grandeur. The structure blends 2 defining styles of Khmer architecture, the Temple Mountain and the Galleried Temple. Enclosed by walls stretching over 3 kilometers, its galleries ascend toward the center, drawing the eye upward and inward. Unlike most Angkorian temples, Angkor Wat faces west, a choice that continues to spark debate among scholars. Its walls are alive with detail. Thousands of devatas in sweeping bas-reliefs depict epic scenes from Hindu mythology, battles, rituals, and celestial realms. Every surface reflects balance, precision, and harmony on a monumental scale. Though the temple eventually fell into disuse, Angkor Wat never vanished. Major restoration efforts began in the 20th century, coordinated by international teams under UNESCO, preserving the site for future generations. Nations from across the world contributed to safeguarding its legacy. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992, Angkor Wat now welcomes over 2.5 million visitors each year, a timeless monument where faith, empire, and architecture converge beneath the Cambodian sky. Learning a new language? Meet LingChat, the AI that chats, corrects, and coaches you in real conversations, anytime, anywhere. Personalized, fun, and actually effective. Click the link in the description to get fluent faster with AI. Steam rises from a sea of milky blue, where fire beneath the earth meets the cold Icelandic air, carved into a black lava field. This is the Blue Lagoon. Set within a vast lava field on Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula, Blue Lagoon emerges like something otherworldly. Steam drifts across black volcanic rock as mineral-rich water fills a basin shaped by both nature and human ingenuity, warmed by geothermal energy drawn from deep within the earth. The lagoon's unmistakable milky blue color comes from its high silica content. Beneath the surface, soft white silica mud settles along the bottom, naturally renewing itself as warm water flows in from the nearby geothermal power station. Visitors smooth it over their skin, a ritual born from the landscape itself, while algae and mineral salts enrich the water with a quiet vitality. The water remains warm year-round, averaging between 37 and 39 degrees Celsius, nearly the temperature of the human body. Even as cold air moves across the peninsula, the lagoon stays calm and inviting, steam rising gently into the sky. It's a place where time seems to slow, where heat and silence replace the outside world. Every detail of the experience is carefully considered. Guests cleanse before entering, preserving the purity of the water. pathways and ramps extend into the lagoon, ensuring accessibility, while private changing spaces provide comfort and privacy for those who need it. Just a short distance from Keflavik International Airport, the Blue Lagoon has become one of Iceland's most visited destinations, not because it demands attention, but because it offers something rare, a moment suspended between fire and water, stone and steam, where the earth reveals its quiet power. Rising from the mist-covered hills of Java, standing as the world's largest Buddhist monument. This is Borobudur Temple. Constructed in the 9th century from gray volcanic stone, Borobudur unfolds as a vast three-dimensional mandala, guiding pilgrims upward on a spiritual journey toward enlightenment. The temple is composed of 9 stacked platforms, 6 square and 3 circular, crowned by a central dome. Along its terraces are more than 2,600 intricately carved relief panels, and originally over 500 Buddha statues. At the summit, 72 Buddhas sit serenely within perforated stupas, encircling the central dome like silent guardians of stillness. As pilgrims ascend Borobudur's stairways, they move through a carefully designed sequence of corridors lined with narrative reliefs. These carvings, among the most extensive collections of Buddhist reliefs in the world, depict teachings of the Buddha, stories of karma, rebirth, and the path to nirvana. Stone becomes scripture, and walking becomes meditation. Borobudur was built during the reign of the Sailendra dynasty, blending Mahayana Buddhist philosophy with indigenous Javanese traditions of ancestor worship. Its architecture reflects a deep harmony between spiritual belief, landscape, and cosmology, a sacred mountain rising from the plains. Sometime after the 14th century, as Hindu kingdoms declined and Islam spread across Java, Borobudur was abandoned and slowly swallowed by jungle and volcanic ash. For centuries, it faded from memory until 1814, when Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles brought it to global attention with the help of local Indonesians. In the modern era, Borobudur was painstakingly restored, culminating in a major international effort completed in 1983 under UNESCO. Soon after, it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized as one of humanity's great cultural treasures. Today, Borobudur remains a living monument. Each year, Buddhist pilgrims gather here to celebrate Vesak Day, while visitors from around the world ascend its terraces at dawn. In silence and stone, Borobudur continues to offer the same ascent it has for over 1,000 years, a journey inward, carved into time. At first light, the sky fills with color as balloons rise over a land sculpted by volcanoes. This is Cappadocia. In the heart of central Anatolia, Turkey, lies Cappadocia, a region shaped as much by geography as by history. Spanning what are now the provinces of Nevşehir, Kayseri, Aksaray, Kırşehir, Sivas, and Niğde. Its modern touristic center rests primarily within Nevşehir, where its most iconic landscapes are found. More than 2,000 years ago, the ancient historian Herodotus described Cappadocia as a vast territory, stretching from the Taurus Mountains toward the Black Sea. Its borders were defined not by lines on a map, but by rivers, plateaus, and mountain chains, separating it from Cilicia to the south, Pontus to the north, and neighboring regions like Lycaonia and Galatia to the west. Cappadocia rises as a high plateau over 1,000 meters above sea level, pierced by volcanic peaks. Dominating the horizon is Mount Erciyes, an ancient volcano whose eruptions laid down layers of ash that time and erosion later sculpted into fairy chimneys, valleys, and cave-filled cliffs. Within this soft stone, early Christian communities carved churches, monasteries, and entire underground cities. Places like Göreme and Ihlara Valley became centers of worship, learning, and refuge during periods of persecution. faith preserved beneath the surface. Despite rivers flowing through the region, Cappadocia's inland location and high altitude shaped a harsh continental climate. Summers are dry and intense, winters cold and snowbound, leaving the land semi-arid and unforgiving. Yet from this environment emerged one of the world's most extraordinary cultural landscapes, a place where nature, belief, and resilience remain etched into stone, unchanged by time. High in the Andes, above the clouds and beyond time, an ancient city rests in silence. Carved from stone and wrapped in mist, it stands as a testament to ingenuity, mystery, and human will. This is Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu rises from a narrow mountain ridge nearly 2,500 meters above sea level. Constructed in the mid-15th century, this citadel stands as one of the greatest achievements of the Inca civilization. Precision-cut stones fit together without mortar, forming walls so exact that centuries of earthquakes have failed to bring them down. Every terrace, stairway, and doorway reflects a mastery of engineering. Historians believe Machu Picchu was an estate of the Inca Emperor Pachacuti, built around 1450 at the height of imperial power. Yet the Inca left no written records. What we know comes from stone, alignment, and landscape. Sacred spaces dominate the heart of the city. The Temple of the Sun curves with astronomical precision. The Temple of the Three Windows frames the mountains beyond. And the Intihuatana stone, carved directly from bedrock, appears to anchor the heavens themselves, likely used in ritual to track the sun. Less than a century after its construction, Machu Picchu was abandoned, likely during the Spanish conquest. Hidden by jungle and known only to local communities, it remained largely untouched by colonial destruction. In 1911, American historian Hiram Bingham III brought global attention to the site, revealing it to the outside world. Since then, Machu Picchu has become a symbol not just of the Inca but of human ingenuity. Declared a national sanctuary, recognized by UNESCO, and named one of the new 7 wonders of the world, Machu Picchu now draws over 1 million visitors each year. Yet even today, as clouds drift through its ruins, the city keeps its secrets, suspended between earth and sky, unfinished and unforgettable. Stretching beneath the surface of the Pacific in a sweep of color and life, is the largest living structure on Earth. This is the Great Barrier Reef. Stretching more than 2,300 kilometers along the coast of Queensland, Great Barrier Reef is the largest living structure on Earth, so vast it can be seen from space. Composed of nearly 3,000 individual reefs and 900 islands, this underwater world is built by billions of tiny coral polyps, forming a fragile architecture that supports extraordinary marine life across the Coral Sea. For thousands of years, the reef has been known to and cared for by Aboriginal Australian and Torres Strait Islander peoples, woven deeply into culture, tradition, and spirituality. In modern times, it has been recognized globally, named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world and a living symbol of Australia's natural heritage. Much of the reef is protected within the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park, yet it faces mounting threats. Climate change, mass coral bleaching, pollution runoff, dredging, and outbreaks of crown-of-thorns starfish have taken a heavy toll. Scientific studies show that more than half of the reef's coral cover has been lost since the late 20th century, a stark warning written into the reef itself. And yet, there is resilience. Annual surveys by the Australian Institute of Marine Science revealed the greatest coral recovery in 36 years as of 2022, driven by the rapid regrowth of acropora corals. It is a reminder that while the reef is vulnerable, it is still alive, changing, adapting, and fighting to endure beneath the surface. hidden behind a narrow canyon of stone and shadow, revealing itself in a blaze of rose-colored rock. This is Petra. Carved deep into the sandstone cliffs of southern Jordan, Petra stands as a city shaped by stone, water, and time. Known as the Rose City for the color of its rock, Petra is famous for its monumental facades, intricate water channels, and architecture carved directly from the mountains themselves. Human presence in this region stretches back over 9,000 years, but Petra's story truly began in the 4th century BC, when the Nabateans settled here. Nomadic by origin, they transformed this harsh desert landscape into a thriving capital by mastering agriculture, stone carving, and rainwater harvesting. Positioned along vital incense trade routes, Petra grew wealthy as caravans carrying spices, silks, and incense passed through its gates. By the 1st century AD, Petra reached its golden age. Its population swelled to nearly 20,000 inhabitants, and iconic monuments rose from the cliffs, including Al-Khazna, the treasury, believed to be the mausoleum of King Aretas IV. The city was not only a center of trade, but of culture, innovation, and power. In 106 AD, the Nabatean kingdom fell to Rome, and Petra was annexed and renamed Arabia Petraea. Over time, shifting trade routes weakened the city's influence, and a devastating earthquake in 363 AD shattered much of its infrastructure. Though Christian churches were later built during the Byzantine era, Petra continued to fade from prominence. By the early Islamic period, the city was largely abandoned, remembered only by local nomadic tribes. For centuries, Petra remained hidden from the Western world until 1812, when Swiss traveler Johann Ludwig Burckhardt rediscovered it, revealing its wonders once more. Today, Petra is recognized by UNESCO as one of the most precious cultural sites on Earth and stands as a symbol of Jordan itself. Nearly 1 million visitors walk its stone pathways each year, drawn to a city that rose from the desert, defied time, and still whispers its story through rock and shadow. Before the sun claims the horizon, Ha Long Bay awakens in layers of stone, water, and mist. This is Ha Long Bay. Ha Long Bay lies in northeastern Vietnam, where the name itself means descending dragon. According to myth, dragons once fell from the sky to protect this land, their tails shaping the seascape below. Today, nearly 2,000 limestone karsts and islets rise from emerald waters, each one formed through hundreds of millions of years of geological change. Rain, heat, and stone worked slowly together, sculpting towers, arches, and hidden caves, an evolving landscape shaped by a tropical climate over the last 20 million years. The bay spans more than 1,500 square kilometers, with a dense core where islands cluster so tightly they feel endless. Beneath the surface, this geodiversity has given rise to rich life, tropical evergreen forests, coastal ecosystems, and dozens of plant and animal species found nowhere else on Earth. But this is not only a story of nature. Human presence here stretches back tens of thousands of years. Ancient cultures, the Soi Nu, Kai Bao, and Ha Long, left behind traces of daily life, tools, and traditions, embedding human history into stone and sea. Ha Long Bay has also witnessed defining moments in Vietnamese history, with artifacts discovered in caves and mountains overlooking the water. 5 centuries ago, scholar Nguyen Trai described it as a rock wonder in the sky, a phrase that still feels true today. Recognized first as a national treasure and later as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Ha Long Bay stands as a place where myth, history, and geology converge, timeless, powerful, and quietly alive. Where the Zambezi River plunges into a thunderous abyss, one of the largest and most awe-inspiring waterfalls on Earth. This is Victoria Falls. Spanning more than 1,700 meters across the Zambezi River, Victoria Falls forms a vast curtain of falling water on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. As the river plunges into a narrow basalt gorge, mist rises hundreds of meters into the air, nourishing a landscape rich in plant life and wildlife. Long before it appeared on European maps, Victoria Falls was well known to local African communities. Oral histories and archaeology tell of generations who understood its rhythms, dangers, and spiritual power. To the Tonga people, it was Mosi Oa Tunya, the smoke that thunders, a name born from the roar that can be heard miles away and the mist that seems to breathe into the sky. In 1855, Scottish missionary and explorer David Livingstone became the first European to document the falls, naming them after Queen Victoria. Though the name endured, the place itself remained unchanged, immense, untamed, and overwhelming in scale. Throughout the 20th century, Victoria Falls grew into one of Africa's most important tourist destinations. National parks and protected areas were established on both sides of the river, balancing access with conservation. Visitors now arrive from around the world, drawn by the thunder of water, the shifting rainbows, and the raw spectacle of nature in motion. Yet the future of the falls is not fixed. Research in recent years suggests that climate change, particularly shifting rainfall patterns, may alter the volume and seasonal character of the Zambezi River. The sound, the spray, and even the timing of the falls may change with the climate. Still, Victoria Falls remains a place of power, a boundary between nations, a meeting point of history and nature, and a reminder that some landscapes are not meant to be conquered, only witnessed. At the southern edge of the world, where mountains collapse into the sea, stands the last city before Antarctica. This is Ushuaia, capital of Tierra del Fuego. This remote city lies below the 54th parallel south, earning its claim as the world's southernmost city, a place defined by latitude, wind, and distance. Ushuaia rests along a broad bay on the southern coast of Isla Grande de Tierra del Fuego. To the north, the Marshall Mountain Range rises sharply, its peaks and glaciers forming a dramatic wall of stone. To the south, the icy waters of the Beagle Channel stretch toward the horizon, separating Argentina from Chile and opening a gateway to the Southern Ocean. Founded in 1884 by Augusto Lasserre, Ushuaia began as a remote outpost at the edge of the known world. Over time, it evolved into an administrative center, a light industrial port, and a hub for travelers drawn by its isolation and raw beauty. Surrounded by mountains and sea, the city feels carved into the landscape rather than built upon it. Ushuaia's position gives it global significance far beyond its population. Located roughly 1,100 kilometers from the Antarctic Peninsula, it is one of the world's recognized Antarctic gateway cities, a launch point for scientific missions, expeditions, and voyages south into the ice. In South America, only Punta Arenas shares this role. Today, Ushuaia is both an endpoint and a beginning, the final city before Antarctica, a place where mountains meet the sea, where the road ends, and where the pull of the unknown feels closer than anywhere else on Earth. Don't forget to click the link in the description for LingChat and get fluent faster with AI. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and click the video on screen for more.